Alright, so today I'm going to talk about identities and labels, and I have finally started writing a script for these, so you're welcome. So to me, the terms identity and label are related but not interchangeable. Everyone has an identity, whether they're aware of it or not, but not everyone has a label. Labels can describe identities, and that's what makes labels both useful and frustrating. Gender knows no bounds. Do we really think we can slap a word on something so complex and unique to us as individuals and fully encompass what we feel? It's even like the concept of love, whether romantic, platonic, anything in between, or neither. It means different things to different people, and nobody's experience of it is the same. Words are a distillation, a simplification of feelings and our experience as human beings. So labels often fail and leave us scratching our heads as we try to shoehorn ourselves into something that doesn't quite fit. You might ask, can I be this if, or if I feel this way, does it mean I'm not whatever? If you find yourself doing that, just take a step back. Your labels are up to you and can't be determined or invalidated by anyone else. Labels are also no good if they're handed to you by other people, like your assigned gender. Suggestions may be welcome, but ultimately it's yours to take it or leave it. That said, labels are handy and comforting when you ask the question, does anybody feel this way? And you get a resounding yes, and you discover a community of people who feel like you. It may not be a perfect fit, but it's close enough to a shared experience. So, use labels if they serve you, and dump them if they don't. Another thing about labels. It's okay to test them out. You don't have to keep them. As long as you have your receipt, you can get your full money back. They may work at one point, and then you outgrow them. They're not written in stone. You can change your mind, and that's no less valid. Maybe there are a few labels that could work, but you really like the connotations of one or two. I call myself a trans guy for simplicity's sake, but I could also call myself a demi-boy and it would more or less get the point across. Gender fluid with more of a masculine lean could work as well, but I like trans masculine because I feel like it plants me at mostly masculine, but with some flexibility. Also, I feel like my transition is more about changing my appearance to be more masculine, but my gender is what it is. My goal is not to be a man or 100% masculine all day, every day. Also, I got bogged down in thinking that transgender means assigned female identifying as a male and vice versa, but then, well, duh, it clicked that you can identify as any gender and potentially transition toward it. I could have been assigned female and identify as agender and transition toward a more androgynous appearance. Um, that's just an example. I'm not pigeonholing any identities into an aesthetic. I would still be transgender, but my gender would be a non-binary one. And that's the last thing I wanted to touch on. For a long time, I was confused by what it meant to be trans and non-binary. It's not that I didn't believe people could identify this way or that they felt this way. I was just curious about their experience because that label resonated with me, but I wasn't really sure why. I think I finally figured it out for myself, so in case you're wondering too, here's what it means to me. I don't hate nor am I going to banish every feminine attribute I've ever had, though I identify and primarily feel masculine. I'm maybe 80 to 90% masculine and otherwise feminine. So I'm a guy with aspects of femininity. And this also goes for things like gender fluid. You don't have to be gender fluid between masculine and feminine. It could be between any genders. So I hope this video was maybe enlightening to you. I definitely learned something as I was preparing for it. So check back in 2 weeks. I'll have another transition update. And right now I'm really working on the gender education videos for Pride Month, but I will be doing more trans topics in the future. So I hope to see you back here soon.